The Taliban in Afghanistan is seeking to make a deal with the U.S. to end the 17-year war. And from reports on the ground, the deal will attempt to block al-Qaeda and ISIS from entering into Afghanistan. These talks are now underway in Doha, Qatar, and have been going on since July of last year. This as the co-founder of the Afghan Taliban, Mullah Abdul Ghani Baradar, fresh from detention release in Pakistan, is now en route to the Gulf state to take over the lead in these talks. Joining us now to discuss, former Pentagon official Michael Maloof. So, Mike, what do you make of these resumed talks in Doha?
Well, the talks are intriguing. They're peaceful. It shows that both the United. What's intriguing about them is that that the Afghan government is not involved. It's the U.S. and the Taliban, and where's the Afghan government? So I think what this indicates is that what the U.S. representative is trying to do is work out a way in which the U.S. troops can withdraw peaceably without being fired on. And the indication I'm getting is that Taliban may even have a ceasefire to show some forward motion, a sign of good faith in these discussions.
Well, on that note, though, what is the state of the government in Kabul? Can they be trusted to manage without having a U.S. presence there? I mean, given that they're not even invited to these talks.
I've had U.S. intelligence officials tell me in the recent past that if the U.S. pulled out completely, the Kabul government would fall within a week.
Wow.
The question is then, if the U.S. then works out a resolution with Taliban and has the orderly withdrawal of U.S. troops, what does this portend for the Kabul government? Are we going to have another civil war? Because what this negotiation is about and what the Taliban has insisted upon is foreign troops get out of Afghanistan. Okay, U.S. leaves. What happens then to the Kabul government, which they don't recognize because they regard it as a U.S. imposed government?
Right.
So are we in for another store of hostility? That's the question. So what I'm beginning to get a sense of is Donald Trump is, I think, listening to Eric Prince once again on his private military contractors. I don't think after 17 years of fighting, the U.S. wants to abandon a government that they installed and that they've been fighting to protect. Are we going to be going back with private military contractors to assist in this? I don't know, but the possibility is there. He's already talking about doing that in Syria as a test for Afghanistan.
Okay, so whether officially or unofficially, you think there will be continued U.S. presence, obviously?
There could be a continued U.S. presence unofficially. It's the optics we are all talking about in every which way. We don't want to see U.S. troops there, but it could be private military contractors.
Now, talking about optics, the Taliban is coming to the table with U.S. Okay, to anybody listening, I think that sounds kind of crazy. These talks aren't being held in some secret bunker somewhere or in the mountainside in Afghanistan somewhere. These are actually happening at a meeting room somewhere in Doha. Is this an effort then by the Taliban to kind of move towards, I don't know if you want to call it legitimacy, to kind of act as a political group, or are they changing?
Well, they've always been a political group. They used to run the Afghan government before the U.S. attacked in 2001. In fact, that's what we kicked out, was the Taliban government because of their protection for Osama bin Laden. Now they're pledging to have no al-Qaeda, no ISIS, which is a little difficult because they are all part of the same ball of wax in many respects. I think I see a growing influence from Iran here, and I think what the United States will want to try and prevent is not only the fall of the Kabul government, but the influx of further Iranian influence into Afghanistan.
Because historically they've had a relationship.
For centuries. For centuries.
So, as we know, what's happening in Syria is Iran is part of an issue there. Yeah. So do you think this is trying to make nice with the Taliban to also prevent the strengthening of ties?
Well, there are relationships between Taliban and Iran, so who knows how this is going to turn out. The loser in all this appears to be the Kabul government.
Yeah, we're hardly talking about them now.
But they have not come up in the discussions. Nobody's talking about what about the government, what about the preservation of the government that the U.S. installed there. Nobody's talking about that. It's on the withdrawal of U.S. forces from Afghanistan. That's what the limitation on the discussions are.
All right, you keep your ear to the ground and let us know what's happening in Kabul, and we'll have you back. Thank you for sharing your expertise with us, as always, Mike Maloof.
Hey YouTube, thanks for checking out our channel. We hope you enjoyed the video. We have tons of content for you just like this. For more of RT America's one-of-a-kind news and analysis, be sure to subscribe and never stop questioning more.